Hey guys, it's Felipe from Flow, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to read data from Cadence smart contracts deployed on Flow using scripts. So specifically, we're going to understand how to interact with these contracts on Flow's testnet. Scripts in Cadence are a read-only operation that allows you to query data from the blockchain without changing any state. This is why reading data from the blockchain is free on Flow. Particularly, we're interested in this script right here. What we're going to do is we have this counter contract, which I'll explain briefly, and then we're going to read off of this contract. So first, let's go into this script so you can understand what's going on. First, we're going to import the counter contract from counter. As you can see here in my flow.json, I already have this counter contract specifically for the testnet address. That's where we're going to be importing. And then here we have the access all. This is the visibility specifically. This is a public contract. Anybody can look at it. Anybody can interact with it. The main function here, this is what tells when the script is going to begin, and then we are expecting to receive an integer as the return. So specifically, the return is going to call the counter contract and specifically the getCount function, and that's going to be the return of this script. So now if we go into the counter contract, we can see as well this has this modifier, the all modifier, which allows anybody to look at it, read it, interact with it. The counter contract has this variable called count, which is a type of integer and also public. And then we have these two events whenever the counter incremented or whenever the counter is decremented. And then when the contract is initialized, it executes this function, which sets the counter at 0. So specifically, what we're interested in are these functions. So we have the increment function, the decrement function, and the getCount function. This will increase the count, and then it will also emit the event corresponding to it. And then this function, the decrement function, will decrease the count, and then also emit the function as well once it has decremented the count. And then finally, this will have the view. As you can see here, view. This modifier specifically refers to a function that can only read the data. It is not changing the state in any way, and it's also public. So we will be able to see that this getCount function, what it returns is the actual count itself. I'm just going to write some scripts now, but I'll explain further in depth in another video. I'm going to write this command that will activate the script itself. So as you can see here, I'm writing the flow scripts execute, and then I reference to this script contract itself. So that when I run it, you will see that I have the result 0. As you can see, when we executed this script, it returned with the number 0, which is the result of the getCounter, because the getCounter function, because that's how the contract was initialized. But then now we're going to actually execute a transaction, which will cost money, and it won't be free. And we won't be reading off the blockchain, but we are actually going to change the state itself. So to do that, we will do this. I ran the transaction and it occurred perfectly. It was a success. And then we can see that there's a new count. This is the event. This is the event that declares the new count, which is 1. So if we go back to our getCounter script and execute it, we are going to see 1.